been thinking, right? I mean, you'd be like, okay, listen, you God, right? So why do we got to go through a crucifixion? Come on down and just wipe everything out, because not understanding the whole picture, you're going to think about what's more comfortable for you. And then the whole time he laid out, I guarantee you Mary was sitting there going, man, I am so happy that he did that for God. She's like, seriously? I mean, listen, if he don't come alive, we're going to have a problem. But this is crazy. See, so what it is what I'm trying to tell you is everybody has a designated process. And that process is to facilitate a purpose. And unfortunately, that process is not at your convenience or your comfort. It's their process. Listen to the stories of people that's had single parents. People listen, let's use me. My mom worked with what she had, which was very little. So I'm the last that was birthed through her. And she went through the postpartum depression, and eventually she went through some schizophrenia and some other stuff. Well, she was in a stressful environment. Okay, so finally she's just like, listen, I'll just stay at the institution. As far as I'm concerned, my kids are dead. So I'm with strangers. So when I come back to meet my mom, her thing is, I don't know you. But what she's really saying is, listen, man, what am I going to do with you right now? She made a statement one time, there's nothing I can do for you now. As if she was supposed to do something. I said, Mom, what are you talking about? Like, at this point, we could just roll together. I mean, I don't need you to do anything. But as a part of her thinks, and then what I used to pick her up, I took her to church every Sunday for about 10 years. And when I picked her up, she would give me this bag, and the bag had a pack of Now-Laters, $1 or $2, the news written on a napkin, and some chips. Thank you. And so I collected these bags in my trunk for a long time. And so one day we was having a conversation, and she says, this was out of bitterness at the time, but she says, well, you can go with him. He ain't do nothing for you. So I was like, to be totally honest, neither one of you, as far as I was growing up, you know. I was like, what are you talking about? But I realized she was trying to make up for lost time. You know, the Now-Laters and stuff like that, she probably would have gave me when I was a kid. So she was, because of pain, she was probably stuck in that time. But what she doesn't realize is if she didn't have the strength to bring forth, I'm not talking to you right now. If her only job was to not to allow me to be birthed under that stressful situation, and it was crazy, she's done her job. Listen, I honor her and praise her for just that. But see, this is the thing is, she could look back and go, man, I probably could have maybe hung in there a little bit. I could have did this. I could have did that. You know, man, I blew this thing. Did you? I mean, not one of her kids are like, you know, none of us are tripping. None of us are crazy. One works for the EPA. The other one is a police director and stuff like that. She's good. Like, we good. We had to go through our process. See, the mothers, you don't determine the process. You're part of the preparation. You're part of the birth, but we got to go through our process. I needed to go through everything I went through. It did hurt, but I needed to go through that. Look, Genesis 50. You know, I appreciate mothers for even back what it said about Sarah having the strength to conceive and to bring forth. And that's not an easy thing to do. You know, I know some of you guys know that. But let me just give you this. It says, okay, so Joseph went through some things. Joseph put in slavery. He was put in prison. And his brothers was a part of assisting that to happen. So when their father died, it's like, man, Joseph probably just didn't kill us because dad was alive. Now the dad's there, he's probably going to take us out. So they sent some people to talk to Joseph. Then they came to talk to him. It's like, well, you know, hey, they bowed down to him. You know, they were trying, because they thought he was going to take them out. But Joseph makes this comment in verse 19. Joseph said unto them, fear not, for I am in the place of God. He says, but as for you, you thought evil against me, but God meant it unto good, to bring it to pass, as it is this day, to save much people alive. So what he said was, even though things were meant not to work out, it looked like they weren't going to work out, but if it didn't happen exactly the way it did, all of us wouldn't even be here, because that famine would have took out everybody. I said that to say, sometimes mothers are looking at the perfect case scenario, you know, your Ivy League Harvard grad, but you have to allow your child to go through his process. That's what, see, again, you put them on track, and then you release them and you intercede them along their path. Because sometimes if you put your hands on it, control it too much, you get in the way. Because now you're trying to customize it for you. That's the most selfish thing you can do, as opposed to releasing it to what God intended. Mary's a great example. She had to allow her son to be crucified. She had influence. She'd be like, listen, there might be a crucifixion today, but it won't be you. You ain't going. You staying here. Stay in this house. She could have been like, no, don't be doing no miracles. People are going to be following you around like you're a Messiah or something. Listen, I done seen what you're supposed to be. No, just stay, just chill. You don't need to be doing all that Messiah stuff. That's not important. She had to release him. And so you know, as I was meditating on this, I was just thinking how, you know, moms are special. And a lot of us probably don't realize how much we miss our mothers. And they might be right in the same house. And so I had this thought I just wanted to give you guys. I miss my mom. Been hidden, missing in action. Still chasing a man's love. Still longing for a man's hug. Still lost in a man's game. Still caught up in that man's fame. I miss my mom. Her singing to God, not just the vent. Her laughing and celebrating every event. Her creating and manifesting God's anointed word. Oh, how I miss my mom. For you to think you're not loved is absurd. I miss my mom. Actually, I wrote that a long time ago in celebration of my mom. But I'm going to say this for you that are mothers and those that actually are with their mothers. This is not just a day to play with. It's not just a day on the calendar. And I know the calendar does it because they want to make money. But really appreciate your moms. You know, I really never had a mother and son relationship with my mom, ever. So I value mothers. I appreciate mothers. I have some, you know, actually my wife's mother, you know, I treat her like a mother. She's probably the closest mother that I know. Again, I value my mom, I honor my mom, but you know, you can't make somebody not deal with some of the effects of the pain that she's gone through. But I'll say, this is a day, really, let's celebrate moms. And the moms that maybe have not thought that they've been perfect in how they flow, you're doing the best you can. So give yourself a pass, do all that you can do, and trust that you're going to need God to do the rest. You can't get past those fears on your own. This isn't possible. You can't just, oh, that hurt, I'm just going to pretend it didn't happen. No. You just can't get past the pain on your own. But it's going to take God at a whole nother level. So,
thanks for tuning into Heirs TV. The completion of this video or entire audio can be accessed at our website at www.heirscc.org or on Heirs CCC channel, YouTube, and Heirs Radio via SoundCloud and iTunes. Donations can be given at our website. Thank you. Remember, at Heirs, we believe we're just what you prayed for.